A lot of people ask me how the smokeout got started, and you know, I would like to say that, oh, we had this grand vision and we had this plan to build this event up, and that would all be a lie. The actual reality is sometimes the best things in life are not planned, and you just stumble into them, and that's exactly how the smokeout started. People would write in and they would say, hey, we'd like to meet you guys. We'd like to actually see the motorcycles that you guys ride. And they were writing into the head office, and Ralph Janis was the editor back then, and Ralph said, you know what, we'll just pick a hotel in Tennessee, because it's kind of, for all the people writing for the magazine at the time, that was kind of a good place to meet. And we just hung out for a weekend. We had like 75 people show up, and it was awesome. And we had so much fun. People were like, man, we should do this again next year. And no one wanted to plan it. And they're like, oh, you're the military guy, you plan things. Why don't you just do it for next year? And so the second year we had it on the Cherokee Indian Reservation. We turned out it was a dry reservation, which we had some problems with that. And then the third year, we had it at Salisbury, and the Discovery Channel came out, and Roger Bourget built a motorcycle to compete against Billy Lane building a motorcycle. That was the first biker build-off, and a lot of the builders that had come to the smokeout were all featured in those biker build-offs. And here we are 15 years later, and we have 15,000 people come out, and it's just a great party. This event is all about essentially the magazine, the horse culture. And it's truly for garage builders. You get there, and the people that really walk the walk show up on real motorcycles that they rode thousands of miles through rainstorms and everything else, and have these great stories like mountain men coming out of the mountains. There's two groups that ride to the smokeout, and they're completely different. Basically, both groups just show up. We have very little control over either group. We have zero control over either group. One of the groups, for years I've tried to influence the way they do it, actually to make it a little safer and everything, and they completely ignore me.
Stampede is a cross-country chopper race. You know, it's the ultimate dirtbag challenge. Basically, you're going to hop on a rigid motorcycle and get from one side of the map to the other side of the map as fast as you possibly can. And you're going to be pitted against a bunch of other guys that are doing exactly the same thing. We started out in Cochran, Washington. The course this year was 3,615 miles. It was ridiculous. And you had to be on bikes 550cc's and under. No hard bags, no windshields, no rubber mounted motors, no chase trucks, and rigid only. You could have struts on your bike, that's okay, but it's a chopper race, you know. You're not going to hop on some big old barge that's rubber mounted and, you know, made to basically sleep on it. You're not going to be riding the couch across the country. It gets about as rough as it can get. Most everybody made it this year. We had 19 contestants. It was won by Paul Corey. He had just a smoking fast time. We left on Sunday morning at 6 in the morning. He was here by 6:30 on Wednesday morning, so it was just shy of just a little over 3 days. It was nuts. As far as the authorities are concerned, as far as anybody's concerned, there is no Stampede. It's all on you. It's illegal, immoral, indecent, wrong. Shouldn't be performed by anyone, but it's a lot of fun.